Good afternoon. We begin with a show of love, support, and resilience for the LGBTQ plus community in Colorado Springs. This is a 25-foot pride flag on display at City Hall on loan from the Sacred Cloth Project. It is one section of the original flag that is more than a mile long, created by the original designer of the pride flag to span from sea to sea in 2003. This section was displayed in downtown Orlando after the Pulse nightclub shooting. The Sacred Cloth Pride flag will be at City Hall in Colorado Springs for the next 2 weeks for all to see.
And today the case continued. We got our first look at the Club Q suspected shooter. We want to warn you, his mugshot is pretty graphic.
Here is a look at Anderson Aldrich's mugshot. You can see the damage inflicted by Thomas James and Richard Fierro as they stopped the accused shooter from shooting anyone else. They took him down. And this was Aldrich in court this morning at the bottom of the screen with attorneys. The court hearing lasted just 4 minutes or so. Aldrich is being held without bail. Courtney Yoon was in the courtroom this morning, and she's joining us with a live report coming up a little later. Also, a Denver neighborhood showing their support for the LGBTQ plus community in a minute. First, though, an update on what has become the latest mass shooting in America. 6 people killed last night in that shooting in a Walmart in Chesapeake, Virginia. 5 of them have now been identified, those victims, and a 16-year-old male was also killed. His name is being withheld because he's a minor. There are 2 others that are in the hospital with critical injuries and a third reported to be in good condition. Investigators say they believe that the gunman then took his own life. Police sources say the suspect was a Walmart overnight manager, but all that Walmart will now confirm at this point is that he was, quote, a Walmart associate. Officers got the call to the scene shortly after 10 p.m. There were about 50 people in the store at the time. So far, there's no word about a possible motive. So many people are on the move on this day before Thanksgiving. We take a look at what is now a benign scene over Denver. But Kathy's joining us now. Kathy, travel might get tricky for people if they haven't already made the move.
That's right, and kind of deceiving because, Tom, Kim, we had another beautiful day in Colorado in November. Sunshine and 50s. We're now seeing the increasing clouds, and look at this tightly wound little storm making its way into northwestern Colorado. If you're a holiday skier, you're going to love this forecast because it'll be just enough snow for you to enjoy, but not enough to keep you from getting up into the high country. And if you're like me, and you like a little snow around the holidays, kind of magical, but you don't want it to be a pain in the neck, that's the kind of storm we're talking about today. Mostly cloudy now. The front has come through. Clouds have followed suit. Winds now north-northwest and pretty gusty tonight. Up across the Continental Divide, it is snowing, so the roads are starting to get just a little bit icy around the area as well. Temperatures starting to come down out of the 50s into the 40s. We'll continue to see those numbers drop even further, and it is gusty. You're going Fort Collins up into, say, the Wyoming area around Cheyenne. You're going to run into some very gusty winds there, or I-76 out toward Fort Morgan and Roggen. Extremely gusty there as that front drops to the south. We have a mostly cloudy and colder night with some scattered snow showers developing around 7 or 8, filling in around midnight. But this thing is out of here by tomorrow morning. So if you're sleeping in a little bit, maybe somebody in the house already got the turkey in the oven, you got a great looking Thanksgiving day coming up. It's going to be beautiful but brisk. Temperatures tomorrow will be in the low 40s, so not a terribly warm day coming up, but you're going to get some sunshine on the holiday. And coming up in Maine weather, yeah, we've got an incoming front. We've got snow showers in the mountains and in Denver, and temperatures will be cooler on Thanksgiving, but the afternoon should be beautiful. I know a lot of families like to go outside and play football, Tom, or maybe, I don't know, are golf courses open on Thanksgiving?
They would be, but it doesn't sound like it's going to be much of a golf day. We'll get to that in just a few minutes.
Okay.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
As we talked about at the top of the hour, the Club Q shooter appeared for the first court appearance today. Anderson Aldrich attending via a remote video feed.
This is the first court hearing, lasted just minutes. 9 News reporter Courtney Yoon was there, and Courtney, give us the update.
Yeah, Tom, Kim, today's first advisement here in court only lasted about 5 or 6 minutes. Essentially, the defendant was advised of their constitutional rights, and then they acknowledged those rights. Public defenders are identifying the defendant as non-binary, using they, them pronouns. Let's take a look at what happened in the courthouse today.
Anderson Aldrich, did you watch the video concerning your constitutional rights in this case?
This morning, the alleged Club Q shooter made a virtual first appearance in the court from jail. The defendant was difficult to hear and appeared lethargic.
Anderson Aldrich.
22-year-old Anderson Aldrich was treated for injuries received after being disarmed by club goers. The suspect left the hospital yesterday before being transferred to the El Paso County Jail. In court, the suspect was asked to confirm their identity and then they acknowledged their constitutional rights. The judge ordered prosecutors to share sealed arrest warrant material with the defense lawyers. Not much else happened during the brief court proceeding.
There was nothing communicated to me that he would be physically incompetent to be here today to participate in this process.
District Attorney Michael Allen held a brief press conference outside the courthouse but did not take any questions on the investigation.
We have requested a proof evident presumption great hearing, which means that we will continue to try to hold him without bond going forward.
The next significant court appearance in this case will be the preliminary hearing.
At that hearing, the prosecution will try to show that there's probable cause that the individual committed various crimes as alleged in the complaint.
9 News legal analyst Scott Robinson says it's very unlikely the suspect will be released on bail for a multi-victim first-degree murder case. He says in mass shooting cases, there's a high likelihood that insanity could be claimed as a defense, especially when there are no other issues at hand.
This is not a whodunit. This is not even a why did he do it. This is a does he have any excuse at all for doing it.
Right now, the arrest charges are 5 counts of first-degree murder and 5 counts of committing those crimes as part of a bias attack. There's already a court, and the next court date's already scheduled for December 6th, though that date may change due to a scheduling conflict with one of the defense attorneys.
Okay, thank you, Courtney, for that update. Today, we are getting our first look into how the doctors treated many of those hurt in the shooting. You know, more than a dozen people arrived at the hospital. Dr. Leslie Moats with UC Health was working in the ER the night it happened at Memorial Hospital Central. He says his team took in around 10 people who were hurt. He not only credited his team for working so well together in a stressful time, but also this group of patients stood out.
In the worst, sometimes our emotions come out. And so we see that a lot in the ER in the hospital, especially seriously injured patients. These patients were just spiritually strong. They showed amazing composure despite their own injuries, asking about their own friends and family.
Dr. Moats adds that in his more than 10 years with UC Health, he's seen hundreds of shooting victims. He hopes more awareness is brought to the issue of gun violence. And you can hear more about what the doctor said and how his team handled that night in a story coming up at 5 o'clock. If you want to donate to help the victims and the people impacted by the Club Q shooting, the Colorado Healing Fund has been activated. It's a method to donate in a secure way that will go to the people directly impacted and the community's long-term recovery. We have all the details on 9news.com.